What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the Lego Ninjago movie. So it's been a little bit, but a big thanks to Rashad for joining me back here on the channel as we finalize our thoughts on the theatrically released Lego movies. We've covered the first one, we've covered the Batman Lego movie, we've covered the Lego movie 2, and now wrapping it up with Lego Ninjago. And yeah, you know, Ninjago is not something I'm overly familiar with in terms of the actual like action figures. I know there's some cartoons that they've released like series of, and some video games. I've only ever played the video game based on this movie, and this is the only Lego Ninjago thing I've ever actually watched. So yeah, you know, going into this, I didn't have any sort of pre-established attachments to the Ninjago specific side of Lego or anything like that. But yeah, this has been a fun series to talk about. You know, it's been a bit of an up or down with certain ones, but ultimately I think for the most part these movies are well made and have been entertaining, and it's been a lot of fun talking about them here with Rashad, and I look forward to moving forward to our next franchise, which is going to be the Harry Potter series. So I look forward to going through all of those movies with Rashad here on the channel and having you guys along for the ride. But for now, let's go ahead and get into my quick thoughts on the Lego Ninjago movie. So this film is directed by Charlie Bean, Paul Fisher, and Bob Logan, and stars people like Dave Franco, Justin Theroux, as well as Jackie Chan and many others. Overall, this is an entertaining film. I found this to be a cool, good time, but I would have to go ahead and start this off by saying that this is probably my least favorite of the theatrically released Lego movies. That's not to say it's a bad movie, but I find this one to be a little bit slow at times, a little bit dull at times, though it does have some really great visuals, and it has a lot of the same things that I would praise about the other Lego movies. This is a movie that I can definitely see a lot of kids really enjoying. It's definitely a movie that I can see having a good impact on families when you're just kind of sitting down and watching something. It's got some funny, silly moments, it's got some really cool, colorful visuals, and it's got that really great animation style that we've seen in the other Lego theatrically released films, where we kind of see things like fingerprints on some of the Legos, kind of giving that realism that these are toys that are being played with. Overall, I really do enjoy the way that these films look, and this one is no different. The character design on all the characters is really solid, and I really enjoy the big colorful action sequences that we get throughout the course of the film. The basic premise of this film is we follow the character of Lloyd, or Lloyd, as he is part of this group of ninjas who is trying to save the world, trying to save their city, and yeah, he's just like your everyday nice, cool, nice guy. Sometimes not necessarily like the best with luck in his life, but you know, he's a cool, nice guy, and unfortunately he just so happens to be the son of Garmadon, who is a big over-the-top villain with multiple arms, played by Justin Theroux in this film, who just chews it up playing this character. And in a lot of ways, this is a very comedic take, almost, as Rashad is going to say in a moment, on like a Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader kind of situation, except in this case, you have like everybody knowing that Luke's dad is Vader, you know? So everybody knows that Lloyd's dad is Garmadon, and you know, it's kind of this thing where he's ashamed of it, and he just has these daddy issues, which lead to really funny moments when his dad's trying to destroy the world. But ultimately, that's what the heart of the story is really all about. You know, you have ninja stuff going on, you have a city to save and other characters in the mix, but at the end of the day, this is a story about father and son, and the fact that the dad is, you know, this, you know, over the top, just stupid, really almost dumb villain, and then you have this son who just really wants to be loved by his dad, but is of course disappointed in his dad's choices. And so that leads to a lot of humor, that leads to a lot of emotional moments. But ultimately, even with all of that said, I think that the movie for me is the more forgettable of the Lego movies. I don't necessarily think it's a bad movie. I don't even really think it's a boring movie or a terrible movie or not worth watching. I just genuinely find it to be a little bit more middle of the road when it comes to the overall movie. Every time I watch this movie, I almost feel like it's coming to an end about halfway through the movie, and then when I ever pause it or check how far we are into the movie, I realize that there's a lot more of the movie to go, and I do enjoy a lot about the movie. I don't want to make it seem like I don't like the movie. I don't want to make it seem like I think the movie is a poor movie, but ultimately while watching it, it's just something that makes me feel a little bit more inclined to look at my phone or kind of be distracted by something else, and it's not one of those movies that kind of completely grips me in. Now I have a few more things I want to say about this movie, but I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to my buddy Rashad G Reviews, and then we'll get back to my final thoughts on this one.
What's the deal, Pickles? Is everything kosher? Feels like it's been a couple of years since we collabed, man. So this time you got me watching the the Lego Ninjago movie. This is the last of the trilogy, I'm assuming, because honestly, I don't want to watch any more of these. Yo, that first Lego movie was crazy. I loved it. You know, it was funny from beginning to end. Second movie, I was not a fan of. So now when this one starts, it's okay. This has to do with ninjas and kung fu, and even starts out kind of like the Shaw Brothers old kung fu movies back in the day. So I said, okay, I might like this. And man, look at here, Perez. I don't know if it was the weather, because you know you live here in Florida too, bro. We had some shitty weather today. Okay, it was cloudy, it was cold, it was wet, and plus this is my day off from working, so I know my body weary, it's tired. Within a few minutes, I don't even know exactly when, but within a few minutes, I was out. I ain't gonna lie, man. I try to go back and watch some of it, but I was out. And that's usually the litmus test. If you put me to sleep within the first few minutes, yeah, you lost me. Alright, so even when I wasn't asleep, I was trying to play solitaire to keep from putting me to sleep. Okay? And which is crazy because it plays like a regular kid's cartoon, you know? So I think this could potentially keep their interest. I don't know. I mean, maybe I should have watched it with my son and see if it would have kept his interest, because my son has the attention span of a Cocker Spaniel. Okay, so maybe I should have watched this with him to see maybe if I was tripping or not. But this movie just didn't do it for me. But I will say, even though the second movie had a better quality to it as far as production and whatnot, but I feel like this third movie was just more easy to follow. Okay, so it was easier to follow the narrative of what was going on. It's basically the Green Ninja with daddy issues. I guess it's supposed to be like Luke and Vader, or like Ben Solo and Han, or what's another fucked up father-son relationship that I could think of off the top of the dome. But shit we've seen before. Okay, so this is the basic. This is just a by the numbers. You know, daddy is bad. You know, doesn't acknowledge his son. Son's trying to get his attention. Yada 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 yada. We've been there before. And I do remember like a long ass monologue near the end of the movie where I was fighting to stay up. So I had one eye closed and the other eye was like open. I'm like this and shit, and I'm like, oh, okay, I think this is kind of good. No, but compliments I give it. You know, as always, animation was cool. Couple of chuckles here and there. You know, the first one, I laughed like crazy. I was cracking up on that first movie. It seemed like each time, the laughs got less and less. And this one, a couple of tongue-in-cheek moments, a couple of, you know, those kind of moments. But nah. I'm just glad this is over with. And Perez, I'm pretty sure that you have love for this one like you have love for the other ones. But I was not feeling it. And I don't have a lot to say about it. All I know about it was it started out promising. Okay, you had the whole Power Rangers thing going on. One of my favorite cartoons back in the day, Voltron. I was kind of expecting kind of like Kung Fu Panda type deal, but I didn't get that. And Jackie Chan's even in this live action and as the master, which I thought was one of the better characters in the movie. But other than that, I didn't care about this, man. Like even the whole Power Rangers thing kind of got pushed in the back for the whole father-son deal with a Green Ranger and a Green Ninja and his pops. You know, I want to see more of Voltron. I want to see more of the Power Rangers. And maybe I did get that, but I was out sleep. I was out. Like I had hand on fist, gone. Sorry, Perez, wasn't feeling this one. Wrapping it up, I give the Lego Ninjago movie, man, I give that shit a D, man. I give it a D. I mean, listen, I don't mind mindless, stupid entertainment. Entertain me. This shit didn't entertain me. Maybe I gotta watch it again when I'm fresh. But I was just, I couldn't keep my eyes open. And then when I did, I was playing solitaire. I didn't, you know. But I watched it. I did watch it. I was listening. So don't think like, well, Rashad, you have to. No, I mean, I can multitask. But, D is what I got for the Lego Ninjago movie. I'm just relieved that it's over. It's over now. I feel like I can make it. The storm is over now. That's an old gospel song from back in the day. All right, so Perez, I'm going to give the floor back to you. Thank you for having me in the series, bro. Wasn't a fan of these Lego movies. What do you have next for me? I think you got Harry Potter next. I haven't seen those. I never had any interest in those, but I think I'm going to like those more than these if that's what you have next for me. So anyways, Thank you, my brother. To the next episode.
A big thanks to Rashad for being here in this video, and yeah, no worries on taking a little bit to send me this one, man. It's always great to have you here on the channel, and I know I haven't been on your channel in a little bit. We have collabs coming on both of our channels, and we've just both been a little bit busy, and I love that we have the friendship to just kind of be chill about it. So yeah, I can't say I necessarily disagree with everything that you say about the movie. This is definitely not one of the better ones. It's a little bit more on the boring side. You know, I would have said maybe rewatch the movie from the beginning and maybe not fall asleep, but you know, classic Rashad G reviews, you gotta love it. Anyway, man, thank you so much for being a part of these videos, and I really look forward to us talking about the Harry Potter movies moving forward. I don't have too much more to say about this movie, to be completely and utterly honest. I just found this film overall to be a nice, fun time. You know, I just wanted to kind of catalog it here on the channel. It's got really cool visuals. If you like the other Lego movies, if you enjoy the Lego TV shows or the specials that you can find on things like Disney Plus, then yeah, I think you'll like this movie. If you're not a fan of the Lego movies, or you're a little bit more picky about what about the Lego movies that you enjoy, then this one may fall a little bit flat for you. I do think this is one of the more colorful and vibrant films in the series, mainly because our main characters are all almost like Power Rangers-esque ninjas with various colors. But yeah, you know, it's a cool movie. I think it's fun. I think it's silly. I think it has some heart to it. It's got a lot of charm at times. I enjoy the father-son dynamic, but ultimately this isn't a movie that I am clamoring to throw on often. The first Lego movie, like Rashad mentioned, is one that I have watched on countless occasions. I've laughed at it on countless occasions. I've thrown it on countless occasions, and it's just a genuinely good movie that has great messages for both adults and kids. A lot of messages in that movie sometimes I think would go over the heads of a lot of younger kids because there are a lot of adult themes in that movie. And the second movie definitely leans into a lot of that as well. But, you know, without a doubt, I think the second movie is a little bit more on the sillier side, not necessarily as strong narratively. The first one's the better one. The Lego Batman movie is definitely one of the stronger ones in this series, with a great story for adults and kids. And then this one is just a little bit more middle of the road, a little bit more for the kids, and not necessarily something with the most groundbreaking story. So that's going to be my thoughts on this movie. A big thanks to you guys for watching. Please go and give some love to my guest Rashad G Reviews down below in the description box. You guys can hit that like button because it really helps the channel out. Please comment your thoughts. Which is your favorite of the Lego movies? Subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.